Hi, I'm Robert Magnus with Matthews Studio Equipment. Thanks for coming out today. This has been a great day for you especially, but also for me, because I do come from a background very similar to you. About 10, 12 years ago, I was completely broke and decided the really smart thing to do, with a family, mind you, 2 children, would be to move to Ireland and try and get a job going there as a camera operator and a filmmaker. That didn't work too well because suddenly their economy crashed. And then I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? So I take the last little bit of my tax return that I got, because I still had lived in the US, use that money to move my family back, got a job at a camera shop like the moment I got off the plane. I get on LAX, get in a car, drive all the way over to Glendale, Burbank area, and start working for a camera company called EVS. And I start selling camera equipment, and I start selling Matthews Studio Equipment. And I start working as a camera op. I start working any little job that I can to learn a camera, to learn gear, to go anything like that. And fast forward here, I'm now their director of marketing. And that's the reason I'm their director of marketing. The reason I'm there is because I came up very similar to everybody here. I went to film school. I actually went to film school just down the road here at USC. I don't work with anybody there really that I went to school with. I randomly worked at ArcLight Hollywood, the Cinerama Dome, and I worked with more people there that actually went out and shot, and on the weekends decided, you know, let's go to Home Depot, buy a bunch of lights, buy a bunch of crap. We may have returned it on Monday. And shoot something, you know, grab a camera and start shooting something. That's the way to learn it. That's the way to do it. So I like to say that my postgraduate work came from outside of USC and doing everything that almost everybody else is doing here. This is a few years before YouTube, so thankfully, all of my really bad videos I have not uploaded. I didn't have the wherewithal to be like, oh, this is great, I'm gonna upload this video. No, it took a few years, then YouTube hit, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna upload that one, not that one, and that one. So sitting here listening to everybody's story and listening to some of the people that have come up in such a way, it's really refreshing, because having gone through film school and worked with people you stand next to and go, you're a jerk, I don't want to work with you. You're not doing enough. You're not out there. You're not hustling. Whereas everybody here is a hustler in a good way, in a good way. Everyone here is out working, and that's exciting. And that's my segue into what we do at Matthews. And that is we create grip gear for people who are out there working, for people who are out there actually trying things, putting themselves out there. Like Matt was talking about, you got to kind of get yourself out there. You got to be ready for the trolls, but you got to be ready for the people who are positive. And the one thing I didn't have that I think is exciting that everyone else here has, and we have now, is this group right here. You guys have found each other. You guys have been able to talk to each other. You've been able to build each other up. You've been able to drive since 1 a.m., Michael? Michael got up at 1 a.m. to drive his ass down here. Oh, he didn't go to sleep. Okay. You know, that's actually the best way to do any kind of test, because in this industry, we don't really sleep, right? If you're not shooting, you're editing, and then when you do sleep for like 2 hours, you feel guilty because you weren't editing or you weren't shooting. So that's why I love coming to work every day, because I get to use this equipment that we've been designing for everybody here to use. And it starts with the C-stand. And Braden, we were talking, and he brought up a great question. What is the etiquette on set? Do you use a C-stand for a light stand, or do you use it primarily for your modifiers, the flags that we got here? And I said, you could use it for whatever you want. Who actually knows what C-stand stands for? Not you. That's cheating. All right. Century stand, absolutely right. What does that come from, though? Century. The number 100. And the reason they called it a century stand 100? No, not quite the weight limit. Century stand, what? 100 ways to use it. Cassius gets a toy. Well, hopefully, you might actually win the raffle. So that's it. It has 100 uses. And I bet you there are even more uses than 100. That's the beauty of it. The C-stand is a lighting stand. Here we have it as a monitor stand. Over here, we have it as a modifier stand. We have it to use for everything, and that's one of our core pieces. And that goes into one of the kits that we've created recently, the Traveler C+ Trio, which is being raffled off. So it takes 3 of our turtle-based C-stands, puts it in this, Now you can roll the set with your light stands, your modifier stands. Oh, by the way, that's a 4x4, that's a 4x4, and that's a 24x36. Who here owns a car that you can fit a 4x4 in? All right, what do you got? What? Yeah, see, a Land Rover, that works. Who else? A Jeep, exactly. You know what I own? I own a sexy Prius, baby. Oh yeah. My wife loves it because it saves us gas money. I won't deny that it's a Prius. It is what it is. But I fit almost all the gear I brought. Actually, I fit all the gear I brought, which is these modifiers, the Trio kit, actually 2 of those. This duty dolly, Apple boxes, that duty dolly stand and rails, all that literature, all in the back of my Prius, and I could have still fit a camera and even a tripod in there. That's what we do, that's what we've been doing, and that's why we're here supporting everybody, because we take the things that you do need. We take these big, unwieldy monsters and put them into kits that give you that 100 uses and more, and get it so that you can put it in your car, or you can roll it to set. You don't need a 1-ton, a 3-ton, a 5-ton. Hell, you don't even need a Sprinter van. You could throw it in your car, you could start shooting, and that's the beauty of it. You could even still use our duty dolly, which is one of the more robust dolly systems on the market. Right there you're seeing square tube. That square tube is going to be on every grip truck because that's also very similar to what you use for all the bigger frames that you can even spy in some of the studios around here. Well, that's our way of just taking everything on set and finding a way for you to use it, and that's the beauty of it. And that's why I'm excited to be here, because I get to talk to people who know, who are always trying to figure out these random things. My first lighting setup was, again, I'm going back to Home Depot, was a crappy light that I bought because I needed it, and I put it right on my subject. Blew them out completely. Couldn't see them. They were just this pale, shadowy white light. I thought, I gotta reflect this. How can I reflect it? How can I do something cool? Oh, I know. I'm gonna run over and I'm gonna get a beach towel that was rainbow. Turn the light around, use the beach towel. It was actually powerful enough to bounce off and hit the subject, and made this really cool look. I was making a vampire movie, because everybody's making vampire movies in like the late 90s, early 2000s. It was awful. You will not find it on YouTube. And that was the mindset that I started in, and that's why I love being here, and that's the mindset we're doing at Matthews. We're obviously using things better than a Home Depot light and a rainbow beach color or beach towel. But what we're doing is we have professional equipment that you buy once, and it lasts the entire life of your career, unless you run it over with a truck. There are limitations. Or someone nabs it on set. You just got to keep an eye on it. But that's the beauty of everything, is that this is stuff that you're going to use the moment you buy it until the moment you might even find something better. I'm going to say you're going to be hard-pressed to find better, but every now and then someone comes out with an idea that we maybe didn't have. But then again, we also are that company. But you're still going to use this every single day. Every single day you're going to be bringing something out of your kit that's Matthews. So it's one of those investments that's going to pay off arguably even more than your camera. I would go toe-to-toe and say even more than a lens at times. Obviously, you need cameras and lenses before you need our equipment, but it's just something to think about. And that's where we come together to try and find how do we kit these together and how do we create new things so that you are spending your money effectively. And the beauty of that, and what Matt's been talking about that I love, is how do you monetize that? We are one of the best ways to monetize your whole kit. And we could talk about that later, because I'm getting the kind of time to wrap up, so I apologize if I'm going on a little bit. But please, come on back, take a look at what we got. If you do not already have a Matthews catalog, we got one over here. I've owned a Matthews catalog, every single one, even when technically the last company I was working with, I was a competitor. If you took my Matthews catalog, I would hunt you down and hurt you. It's just required reading, one of the few print things you're ever going to want. I got a bunch of them back there, so I want to make sure everyone gets one before you leave. Grab my card, reach out to me. Got questions, need to know where to buy it, happy to direct you. Hell, if you're in LA, again, or anybody LA natives, we manufacture in Burbank. We are US, we manufacture here, we come up with the ideas here, and if you're coming around, hit me up, grab my card, say, hey, I'm in town, I got a little bit of time, maybe we get a few of you together. We do factory tours. You wanna come see where it's made, you wanna come see how we do it, you wanna see some of the new toys, you're always welcome to come by our showroom. But if you want the factory tour, we gotta schedule it. But still, come on by, we'd love to have you. And we'd love to hear what you're up to, and we'd love to see what we can help you with next. So thank you very much for your time. Looking forward to talking to everybody one-on-one if we get a chance, and enjoy. Thanks.
Round of applause.